Jesus Christ, really?
Don't forget to become a member of UnrealEntGaming's Patreon for exclusive manga content and early access. Isn't that right, Seth?
I already joined his Patreon today. Tons of great stuff on there, actually. But did you really have to blow up the city?
Yes.
Blew up the domino. You blew up the dominoes and you're laughing. Do you realize the f***ing crisis here?
And you will be next. Unless you subscribe, like the video, and turn on notifications right now.
Or else what? You'll aggressively scream another man's name for several hours?
Kakarot! Kakarot!
Now, although the entirety of this overall situation doesn't appear to be favoring Gohan whatsoever, if there is one thing that I will say that is keeping Gohan afloat against Lord Gardox, it is his ambition and his desire to fight for those whom he vowed to always protect. And as powerful and as sneaky as Universe 15's destroyer is, given his very malicious reputation as being a very brutal god of destruction, I can't help but shake this feeling each time I look deeper within Gohan's spirit, because if Gohan doesn't find the means to draw his true power out and overtake Gardox in battle, then he will lose everything that he ever would have held near and dear to him in this battle.
Our story now continues back within Universe 15, with Universe 15's God of Destruction Gardox shown having to stand following the initial events of having to knock Piccolo down, as it was only with Gardox now having to redirect his focus right back towards Gohan was when Gardox then went on to respond, "You don't seem to be doing so good over there, Gohan. Having trouble keeping your eyes open over there? Yes, I bet you are. But your helplessness within the moment has opened up a whole new world of possibilities for me, many of which I haven't even went and used in a very long time," Gardox continues, "and so you should feel honored, because it's not very often where an enemy of mine forces my hand like this. But let it be known that your stubbornness has a price, Gohan, and I am now here to collect what you owe. Now, you may not know this, of course, but I actually have an abundance of nightmares just waiting for you. A collection of weapons and objects that I almost went and nearly forgot about," Gardox continues, "but since you've reminded me of them just now, I am extremely eager to go and use them. For you have now given me the perfect excuse to delve back into the darkest corners of my power, and by the time that I am done with you, you'll wish you had never crossed paths with me when you did, mortal. And so now allow me to go and introduce you to my many bag of wonders that I harbor within my goblin's bag, which you see here, as the question now becomes more of a question of what will I draw out of this bag rather than how I will be shown using them, and I can't wait." "Ouch, it burns! And just where the hell did he go and get that destroyer magic from if I was already hot on his tail?" Gohan questions. "Oh, he more than likely has the ability to just spawn it whenever he chooses if it didn't come from that so-called bag of his. Oh, the blinding me as a way of keeping me from turning your lights off isn't going to be something that lasts very long, and you know that it won't," Gohan shouts, "because one way or another, I will get my hands on you," with Gardox responding, Yeah, we'll see about that one, but in the meantime, would you look at what we have over here? I haven't seen my puppet pinger here since before the days where this universe and I were erased. But boy, oh boy, does this little item here bring back so many memories, which you are about to go and become one of them. Saiyan. Now let's just see if I can remember on how to use this thing the way it's intended, because you'll be the first mortal that I went and tried this on, since of course being revived, and so... yes, now I remember. So now let's go on ahead and just try this. Yes, just like that, and so now there we are now. You know, it'd be a shame if you suddenly started attacking yourself from out of nowhere while blinded by me, Gohan, for it wouldn't be the best call to make, but I'm rather curious to see on just how badly you hurt yourself in the process of doing it. And so now let's just find out and see what the outcome will be. Gardox went on to then jingle his puppet pinger. Ouch! Whoa! Now that's what you call a really scary looking punch there, Gardox went on to respond. But you really shouldn't go and beat yourself down like this, mortal, Gardox continues upon having Gohan punch himself in the face. I'm the one that you said that you'd be going after, and so why are you starting to attack yourself when you should be attacking me? Whoa, and there you did it again, and again, and again. Well, isn't it just bizarre, Saiyan? Did I happen to hit you a little harder than you're typically used to that you forgot about who your real enemy is here, or what? Because if this continues to go the way it does, then you'll end up destroying yourself long before I'd even get the chance to do it myself. But what do you think, Gardox questions? Is it hard to tell on which way this will go, mortal? Or should I continue to remind you of the dangers that you are facing? With Gohan responding, You think that by trying to use my own body as a weapon against me, that it'll somehow stop me from achieving my objective, Destroyer? Because it won't. And so now go ahead and just go and pull whatever you want out of that bag of tricks that you have there, because none of it will help you, God of Destruction. None of it will help you, you hear me? And there is nothing that's going to stand in my way of tearing you apart for the nightmares that you have went and put me and my friends and family through. We are not your puppets in this sick and twisted game of yours, Destroyer, for I will not go down to you like this, you monster. With Gardox responding, wait, you can still move on your own and open your eyes despite them burning? Well, this is a bit of a surprise to see, but if you truly think that I care about the things that I went and put your friends and family through, then guess what? You have another thing coming if you honestly expect for me to care about whether any of them live or die, and that includes you. However, our game is not quite done, Gardox went on to freeze Gohan in place by responding, and so why don't you just hang on tight where you are so that I may go and remind you of your place, mortal. No, you won't win! I will never let you win because I can't! But Gardox did not care, because despite with Gohan being shown held in place as Gardox went about by attacking Gohan from all angles, was when Gardox then went on to respond, you mortals in the 7th universe are quite the bunch, but I can see as to where you get it from, because the pride that I see reflecting from your very soul is the same kind of stubbornness that Beerus usually displays. Boastful and arrogant, selfish and reckless. These are all the same reflections that I see coming from you, Gohan, but at least you can take a punch. But for your sake, Gardox continues upon Gohan being shown screaming in agony, I hope that this mortal body of yours can continue to take a lot more punches, because you're going to need all the strength that you can possibly scrape from the bottom of that barrel body of yours if you do, Gohan. Well, even though Lord Gardox appears to be the one who is in complete control of this battle, Angel Vodka went on to then chime in, and I still don't like how he continues to push that Saiyan further into reaching his breaking points, and especially after seeing what we had seen earlier come from him. But I guess the only way that this will end is if Lord Gardox says that it will, with Pan having to then chime in, oh, please hang on, Papa, please make it stop. Mr. Angel, please tell Mr. Green to stop hurting my father, and I don't want to see my Papa in this much pain, and so please tell me that he will be okay, Mr. Angel. Please tell me that my Papa will be alright and that nothing bad is going to happen. With Angel Angel Vodko responding, well, I'll honestly say that even though I didn't foresee myself having to watch over a child, let alone one that isn't even from this universe, I will say, however, that your father will be just fine if he is able to play his cards right in this battle, little one. Your father may appear broken and beaten down there, but is he, Vodko questions? Because I think not, for so as long as he maintains the strength within his heart to fight for your liberation, then he will not falter so easily in battle, unless of course Lord Gardox chooses to go and put an end to him by erasing your father. But for that to even go as far as to happen, we will have to wait and see if it reaches that point, as Gardox went on to approach Gohan's body by then responding, still alive, I see. Well, you're certainly a persistent little creature, now are you? You and your little hopes and your dreams and your aspirations of being able to get your daughter back, it's annoying to say the least. And more importantly, it isn't going to happen, and not while she has a friend in me she isn't, and that's because your daughter isn't going to need you. Now go on, stand back up if you think that you can, and let's have another go. Oh, come on. Don't tell me that you're all out of gas, Gardox continues. Hold on there a minute. Now just where exactly do you think you're going, pal? Crawling towards your daughter's direction in hopes of reaching her, huh? Our battle isn't over, silly, so where do you think you're going when you and I are far from done here? Because since I can see that you're still crawling around down there, that means that there is still more fun that I can go and extract out of you before putting you out of your misery. And that means that so as long as you're still crawling around and breathing down there, Gardox went on to step forward in front of Gohan by responding, then our little game will only continue to be played. And so what do you think about that? With Gohan responding, I think that you're not as tough as you want to make yourself out to be, cause you can't keep me down. Yeah, well, wrong answer, buddy. Because I'm only keeping you around long enough so that I can get as much amusement out of Beerus' finest that I possibly can before I go and destroy you. And since you're perceived as one of Universe 7's strongest, Gardox continues, I want to go and make this as clear as I can, and that is that I am here to shatter that illusion and prove to Beerus that his universe is and always was filled with nothing more than weaklings and fools. You, the best that Beerus has to offer, will crumble, and with you, this false sense of security that your universe clings on to will crumble right along with you. And so maybe you did get lucky when you managed to somehow make it past my first two challenges, Gardox continues, but now that you can start to see that this is something that's way out of your league, perhaps now you can understand that you aren't going to beat me here, Saiyan. And so now get it through your head. Phew. Well, I will say that punching you around my planet sure has me breaking out in a sweat over here, as I really didn't think that you'd hold out for this long, but maybe I should change my plans. And so now how about we go and take a minute to look back inside of my bag here and see what we can find for us to use, shall we? And as I promised that it'll only take a second, and I can't wait to see what we end up getting. Oh, I can only imagine. So many weapons to choose from, but so little time. But I'll make sure to go out of my way and make the most of every second that you and I spend together, Gohan. And so now let's see what we can go and pull out of this bag here, with Gohan being shown sitting on up by then responding, what is he looking for in that bag of his again? I've got to find a way and try to throw him off his game before he goes and tries to use another one of his weapons against me. As Gardox then went on to respond, now this is what I'm talking about. Just look at it, would you? I can't remember the last time that I went and used this big boy in battle before, but would you just look at it, Saiyan? My goblin's mallet in all its glory. Oh, and if you thought that you've seen it all before, mortal, then just you wait until you get a load of what you're about to experience once I start smacking you around my planet with this. But I am hoping, however, that you don't go down too easily, Saiyan, and that's because it'll be a real shame if I went and used this on you only for you to melt under the pressure of its deadly power before I'd even have the chance to get started like how I wanted. Oh, you've got to keep fighting, Gohan. Don't let his vast arsenal of destroyer weapons be what breaks you, Piccolo went on to then utter. You're better than he is, and he knows that you are. That's why he's doing this. He's doing this because he's scared, Gohan. He's scared of your potential, and so that's why he wants to go and extinguish it. But even if he tries, you can't let him do it. I know that you have the power within to beat him, Gohan. As Gardox then went on to respond, how annoying. It almost makes me want to vomit after hearing that. Say, does he always tend to do this and cheer you on this way? Cause it's actually quite annoying to listen to, as Gohan then went on to shout, that's enough! But then, it was just as Gardox was shown having to avoid Gohan's ki blast by then being shown winding up his mallet, as Gardox then went on to respond, whoa there, now that was close, but would you go and look at that? You still have some fight left within that broken body of yours, now do you? Well then, Saiyan, what do you say we go and start cracking some heads around here and find out if yours is worth giving it another whack or two, Gohan, because by the looks of it, you are far sturdier than I imagined you'd be, especially since you're from Beerus' universe of all places. However, as sturdy as you all and with all of the potential that you harbor as being a mortal warrior who carries with him destroyer rivaling power, you will never be able to hold your own and pull your weight in battle against the likes of me, Gohan. Oh, it's no use, Piccolo then went on to chime back in. This destroyer is dragging this out to make Gohan suffer a slow and painful death on purpose, and so he isn't going to stop either, but Gohan hasn't dropped out of his beast form just yet, which means that his willpower and his spirit to fight still yearns for his desire to save his daughter, but he has to try and dig down deep within himself and fast if he hopes to actually do it here. But it was simply no use, because despite with Gardox being shown swinging his mallet around and dropping Gohan down onto the ground before using his mallet and firing off energy blast, was when Piccolo then went on to chime back in. Because if Gohan isn't able to do what he did before and draw out that hidden power that he used against Cell to stop Lord Gardox, then that destroyer will likely continue to wear Gohan down until he finally destroys him for good. But even then, within that very moment, as Gohan was laying down on the ground by having all of these energy blasts being shown having to ram themselves into Gohan's body, was when Gardox then went on to continue, it hurts, doesn't it, mortal? It hurts knowing that you are utterly powerless to do anything in your nature to stop me from ripping everything away from you, now doesn't it, Gohan? And so as it was during the days of when I had everything ripped away from me, now it's your turn to feel my pain, Saiyan. Because it's like your puny god of destruction once said, better you than me, right, Gohan? Better you than me, right? Well, I couldn't agree more with that sentiment, because better you than me right now, Saiyan. But it was only during Gardox's act and having to blast Gohan while he was down, as Pan attempted to make her way down below, with Angel Logical having to prevent Pan from having to leave and responding, that's far enough, little one. Please don't make me have to tell you again. You are not safe out there, and so therefore you will not get yourself involved in a battle that does not require you, and so now please stay. As it was only moments later back down on the battlefield, with Gardox being shown having to walk away by also being shown acknowledging his mallet and leaving Gohan down onto the ground by having to be surrounded by the debris around him, was when Gardox then went on to continue, now that ought to bury that runt beneath the ashes of his miserable failures, but I gotta say, I sure did get a good whack at cracking that Saiyan across the head when I did, and I loved every single second of it as it happened. And so now he's as good as dead, or at least will be soon if he didn't already perish by his injuries, and so good riddance. Don't let this be where you fall, Papa! I believe in you, and I know that you have the power to stand back up and win! I won't give up on you, Papa! Pan shouts, but then it was only just when Gohan had opened his eyes and having to overhear his daughter cry out for him was when Gohan then went on to respond, Pan, I hear you, and I won't let you down. As Gardox then went on to chime in, wait, you're still standing? But how is it that you're back up on your feet like this already? And what is this strange power that I sense that's coming from you? As Gohan then went on to respond, you are in way over your head now, God of Destruction. I said it once, and so I will go and say it to you one last time. No matter what you do and no matter how hard you try and crush me, you will never succeed. And as long as my daughter remains in danger, I will never stop hunting you until she is safe. And so now, God of Destruction, this is where I will break you once and for all. As it was only right then and there now, during that moment, where the Beyond Dragon Ball Super story of the Resurrected Fallen Gods of Destruction, the Universe 15/Universe 16 Sagas Manga Chapter number 11 special then comes to a close.
Actually, I'll go and take it from here, as I do want to go as far as to address something with all of our dear viewers at the moment. As before I go and give you the following information, if you aren't already a member of Unreal's Patreon community, then you are truly missing out on so much without you even knowing. As not only is the next episode already on the page, but if you want to support all of the content that you see and gain access to tons of exclusives along the way, then we do encourage for you all to become members of our Patreon community today, for we will link it all down in the description box below and pinned comment section. Now I will say that even though it might appear as though Gohan is seemingly down for the count, from what I am able to see and gather together, there appears to be something far greater that I am able to sense deep within him that is driving Gohan's spirit to fight, pushing him deeper and deeper into dangerous and unknown territories, even if that means having him fight until the very end by risking his own life for the sake of protecting those whom Gohan loves. And so with both Lord Gardox and Beast Gohan now looking to lay it all on the line in this groundbreaking finale, you do not want to miss out on what is about to happen coming up next. So we hope that you all enjoyed today's video. As before you leave, do make sure to give this video a thumbs up by smashing that like button on your way out, as well as subscribing to UnrealEntGaming's channel in case you are new around here. We thank you all for watching and hope you all have a wonderful day, everyone, as we'll see you all in the next one.
Hello! Did you know that you can stay up to date with the latest Dragon Ball content by simply subscribing to UnrealEntGaming?
Also, don't forget to follow on these social media platforms, you sexy son of a bitch.
Roshi!
Silent Cell, me and the fans are having a moment. That's right. I know what you want. Extra long, thick Dragon Ball content. Quality reviews with flawless editing. Yeah, you like that, wouldn't you? You dirty bitch.
Roshi, the fuck?
God damn it, I need them to subscribe, Cell.
And we're demonetized.
Yeah, screw it. Let's cut to the video.